War. War never changes.
After Fallout reaching its 25th birthday only a couple days ago, I thought it would be a great idea to revisit one of my most favorite games from the Fallout franchise, which is Fallout 4. Recently, I've been spending countless hours exploring the wasteland again, fighting monsters, fighting raiders, simply exploring, doing quests all over again of varying difficulties, and just seeing the world once again. And for me, it proved to be as fun as I left it, as the first time I ever played it. And for some reason, this game really does have a special place in my heart amongst all my other favorite games, but this one has to be one of the most top-ranking ones. As any game, Fallout 4 has its ups and downs, but then again, every game has them. But I personally think it has one of the best stories in a choose-your-own-story RPG game. It has great replayability, many styles you can play as to basically obliterating everything that moves on the map, or being more charismatic and talking and trying to solve situations just through conversation. It's interesting either way, and there's still many things to be found on the map, like collectibles, hidden stuff, trying to just help out people, or building settlements. But in my opinion, there's much more to the wasteland than I actually mentioned in the intro. So with that being said, let's get into the video.
In the army taught me one thing. It's that war never changes.
So after you finish the pre-war prologue and finish the first introductory mission, you could say that, which teaches you about the game mechanics and how the combat system works, at least approximately, you're free to explore the world. Just look around locations, start fighting monsters, raiders, super mutants, death claws, and every other creature or enemy that comes in your way, or even start fights with random settlements and civilians. Start collecting weapons, stock up on caps for trades, but that all is part of the game. Either you strictly play the story or do side quests and side missions and miscellaneous missions, or just explore the world for yourself, find new locations, explore them, completely look through every crooked and just memorize the whole map. And after all that, there's still so much more to do, because the story is vast, and in my opinion, one of the best ones in a storytelling RPG like this one. Personally, I at first just killed off some lower level enemies and collected some loot so I could trade. I also just tried to level up a bit so I could strengthen my character and get some perks, and explored the world, since this wasn't my first playthrough at all, especially during the 25th birthday of Fallout. I was just playing around, exploring, and I personally think that this is one of the best values for the game, that you're free to explore. You're not set within boundaries in between missions, and that's about it. You explore, you can build settlements, collect materials, upgrade weapons, freely customize them to your wishes, or simply to do as much damage or to look very flashy. You can upgrade your armor, build it, and constantly customize it too. And one more great thing about this is the fact that there's no microtransactions. You buy the game, as I did. I bought the Game of the Year edition with the DLCs, and that's it. You jump in, you play, you save, leave, come back whenever you can, and the game will be waiting for you as you left it. With its vast story of the wasteland and the world before the Great War, there's many stories, even random conversations you can find on terminals all across the wasteland. It's not just, quests, go here, unlock this door. There's also just random conversations between people or diaries that you can find and read through. And sometimes it actually feels that there's real people behind them. And that for me is also just what a game needs to actually kind of have a bigger connection other than running around and gutting things down for XP just to unlock this one weapon or this one perk. It's more about storytelling and how you approach it, and the fact that you can also choose how you approach situations, whether it being using charisma in conversations to persuade people into doing the things you want, or barter for better prices, or for them to help you out, or whether it being just threatening them or being more direct, or just approaching situations head on with pure aggression and firepower. The ability to choose how you approach these situations, for me, is very important, and what makes this game also stand out. Overall, the Fallout franchise makes me, you could say, very, very happy and warm feelings on the inside, just because I started playing these games because I was looking for something like this, an immersive open world experience, and I got what I wanted. And as the series went on, I continued to buy them and play them. And I personally think it's very nice to actually have a game like this and a game franchise. We're not going to talk about Fallout 76, but Fallout 4, New Vegas, and 3 are top notch. But that doesn't mean it's fully flawless. There is one flaw that, for me, truly irks me to the core, which is the companion system. Yes, having companions is very nice, and they can carry your equipment that you cannot carry on yourself because you're carrying too much and are heavily slowed down. For that, I kind of like just dog meat or any other animal companion. But other humanoid companions you can have, for me personally, it just doesn't sit right with me, especially that most of the time they just get in the way, get in front of your shots, absorb most of the bullets you try to deliver to your enemies, and get knocked down, and you have to waste your stim packs to heal them. Yes, you can ignore them, but then again, they won't be able to help you in the fight, which is one of the most annoying parts, what I think, is the fact that yes, having a companion is nice, but since it doesn't function properly, it becomes a downside, a pretty big one. So I personally choose to travel alone and even use the perk they have, which is the Solo Traveler. I forgot the full name of it, but it allows you to carry 50 pounds more, which means you can carry much more equipment by yourself, and I basically choose that in every single playthrough now, ever since my first playthrough. But on the other side, the weapon customization system for me is a big plus, because not many games can pull it off so much in detail, especially how you can customize nearly every single part of your weapons, including the magazines, the compensators, the barrels, and everything else, including the frame, and making it do more damage or reload much faster or doing special types of damage. And in such games, for me, this is a massive plus, because I like customizing my weapons, I like customizing my full loadout and fully choosing my own preferences for many types of weapons that I can use essentially against enemies in the wasteland or any other type of game where that option is possible. I think it's much more interesting that way, that you can really, really personalize your equipment down to what kind of ammunition type you want to use on your rifles or sniper rifles. So this definitely is a big, big plus for Fallout 4. The worlds of Fallout also seem alive. Anywhere you go, there's some sort of activity, either being just monsters and critters crawling around, or actual NPCs just trying to live their lives and trying to survive, doing their tasks on their farms, or just trying to advertise their merchandise as traders, or overall just going about their lives and fighting for survival. So that's another thing that for me seems like a massive bonus for the game, that everything actually seems alive and lively. Even after a nuclear fallout and a massive world destructive catastrophe that the Great War was, you see people going about their lives and overall just living, building settlements, or adjusting the current one they're already in. Maybe it's just a random bar made into a house that was abandoned or partially destroyed during the Great War. Nonetheless, for me, I think that really makes the game very, very interesting, that everyone has something to say. Even terminals of the world before the war have great stories, even just regular conversations of the people that lived before the Great War. With all that being said, in the world, you're not the main character, you're just someone who came out of the vault. Yes, you have influenced many lives in the Commonwealth and helped a lot of people out, but that by any means doesn't mean you're the main character and the one to rule everything there. You're just another person that has joined the life of the wasteland after being frozen for 210 years. So overall, in my opinion, the game itself is an underrated masterpiece, if you'd call it. Many would disagree, but in my personal opinion, it has a mixture of everything that makes an open world survival game great. There's many characters you can interact with, have conversations, and even create companions and great relationships and friendships, partnerships. There's many areas to explore and that have deeper lore to it, even ties to the real world, like the actual before the war world's inflation, which was checked, which is off topic, but still, everything is very nicely tied together, even if at the start it doesn't seem like it. And that makes a storytelling game great. It makes it more than just a simple game. It makes it as an interactive story. It makes it something that actually has something to tell and show. Yes, it's not about the real world and the future, but it's a different universe, and for a reason. It's basically many people's fantasies to live out such a world which is destroyed by a war or some sort of a world-altering event. And this game franchise allows us who want to experience that, truly experience that through its clever storytelling, characters, world design, and everything else it involves in. So I think this game is still worth buying, still worth replaying and being played, even after 7 years since its release. I think this game definitely deserves more attention than it probably has at the current moment. And it really is something to appreciate, I think, compared to many other games that are being released. And this is a game that I definitely won't be putting down anytime soon.